And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
But that's like
within fucking 20 years, a fucking pandemic, global pandemic, the wars, all the long wars after that. No, the 90s fucking ruled. Not even the 80s had a little dust up there, and
we had the Cold War.
We had the Cold War and the first Iraq War.
That was 91. Yeah, Desert Storm, which we walked in. Dominated.
Yeah, that was
welcome, Kuwait.
Yeah, I mean that was quick work.
Yeah, light work.
I just remember yellow ribbons.
Bush Senior.
I just remember this girl I knew's dad died of one of the weird chemicals.
Oh Jesus!
He came back and he was like,
he's one of the 4 deaths we had in the Gulf War.
I think we had like 71 casualties.
And he's one of them.
I think so. Well, he died later because he got poisoned by all the shit that they used in Iraq or in Kuwait.
I mean, there's that even happening. Like, the people that live near 9/11, we have gray skin and shit. They're like dying.
I mean, if you ride the subways in New York, you know that you're entitled to money if you were at the World Trade Center.
Oh.
Every ad on the subway for the last 20 years was like, do you have mesothelioma? Do you have lung cancer?
That is the sound. That is the voice of the lawyer, too.
And he goes, were you down by the World Trade? Well, come out to my office in Sheepshead Bay. I might get you 40.
You hacking up all kinds of gook?
Yeah, you spitting in your hanky and your chick's getting mad?
Do you have Doc Holliday disease?
Yeah. Don't have a friend like Wyatt Earp? Well, come to my law firm.
DJ Lou, are you with me on this? It was, I'd say, unobjectively better.
Yeah. The fucking early 2000s sucked cocks.
I cannot pick. Here's the thing. You're absolutely right as far as the 2000s and the 2010s. And I would say the 2010s, I don't know, dude. I had a great time in the 2010s up until the pandemic.
Been having fun the whole time.
We've just been rocking and rolling the whole time. But it's like there was years that sucked in the 2010s, but overall, I had a blast. Up until 2019, up until 2020, 2010 and 2020 ruled. 2020, the 20s suck so far.
Damn it, man. Fuck me. This is possibly a caller subject. Fuck them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Fuck them.
I wish we could like tweet it out on these lost tapes.
I think I can tweet out the number and say call in now.
No, but they're not getting any context.
They don't.
It's no good.
Oh God. It's off the.
I think, because this is a conversation where I think people are going to be yelling in their stereos about.
Fuck you! 2010.
They're like 98. The blah 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 happened.
Yeah. Timothy McVeigh.
I mean, whatchamacallit?
99. Yeah.
Whatchamacallit was that was the beginning of the end, dude. School shootings became a thing, and it was a wrap.
It was right. Remember when Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and NSYNC, Backstreet Boys?
They opened a portal to hell.
It was right when Kurt Loder started being like, he was upset about what he had to report on.
Yeah, when he started getting sassy on MTV News, where he's like, these fucking idiots.
Yeah. Well,
Britney Spears is
Chris Kilpatrick is braiding his hair again.
Joey Fatone bought new shoes. Why am I doing this? Can I go to CNN?
What am I doing? I interviewed the Stones.
I remember Kurt Cobain when he was a child.
Loader.
Loads.
What a great name.
I love Kurt Loder.
What a good porn name.
Kurt Loder? How did it never work and someone just throw an A in there?
Just be fucking
Kurt Loder.
Yeah.
Spell it with a C.
And they play that when you're busting. Oh, I'm Kurt Loder. This is my fat wad.
Wow.
Dude, if you're in porn, call yourself Kurt Loder. Do it right now. Trademark it. Go bust some backs out as Kurt Loder.
CURT.
CURTLOADR.
Yeah.
LOADER.
Kurt Loder.
Dude, I'm Kurt Loder. Shoot, ma.
And he goes, load him up.
When he finishes, he goes, oh, for fat cum, this is Kurt Loder, MTV News. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
90s, I could argue, the 90s were awful. As my dad and my sister died, I went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, personally,
not.
My mom just died for the 90s.
Yeah,
the 90s, like you can't talk about the 90s in front of my dad without him tearing up.
They withered away. Yeah,
I'm like, let's not mention it.
I mean, and so much good things happened in the 90s. I'm still like, oh yeah, 97 really sucked ass.
Yeah, you guys have some personal things took the 90s down a peg, but
also had some great personal things in the 90s.
I'm just saying.
Started smoking.
And you're right. And you're right. Some of it is like the idealization of like I was younger. And,
I think when you're younger, it's kind of like the way we look back at.
but no, but I'm
You
saying,
also
but,
were
but
in
also
high
look at,
school in 95.
But-
Like graduated.
Yeah, you graduated high
different
school.
age.
So you were kind of a young adult in the back end of the 90s, which is fun. But you know how when we talk about comedy and we talk about like coming up or whatever, and it's always said with like this air of like, we were coming up and everybody was bleh, bleh, bleh. You forget how much that sucked. But looking back on it, because now you're okay, you look back on
the
it like
reflection of it. But
the
like,
reflection of it, you're like, that was fun. But I remember times, in fact, I thought about it because I walked by an ex's apartment on 15th, Annie's apartment on 15th and 3rd. And I was like, I think I walked by it last week and I was like, man, this is so cool. I'm going home to my girlfriend that I love with my dog that rules. I'm a comic. I get to like, a new joke just worked, something like that. And I remember crossing the street in the snow, going to Dos Caminos being like, hungover, being like, fuck all of this. This sucks. I hate this.
I'm going home.
Hate this. I want to go home. And now I look back and I was like, it was fun. I was like hungover way. You know what I mean? It's like you look back and it's easier to look through rose-colored glasses.
take your personal strife out of it.
Sure.
In the grand scale of a day in the life, what big in the world were you worrying about? I mean, barely anyone gave a shit about Clinton getting impeached, forgetting his dick sucked. It wasn't for like lying to the government and doing all kinds of fucking wacky shit and starting riots and all kinds of nutty stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Can I put a clarification on it? Pop culture ruled.
Mm-hmm.
Personal life sucked ass in the 90s.
The Nickelodeon. helped get you through.
95 to 2000. Are you afraid of the dark? Snick? All that.
on.
What are you talking about?
So what?
Goosebumps?
A couple of fucking kids got to get some loads on the feet so you can get some
Hey,
quality
dude,
television.
your
Yeah,
shorts.
dude. Thanks.
So what?
Thanks for letting them come on your fucking toesies.
Thanks, Dennis Blunden.
Thanks, dude. Because Pete and Pete fucking slapped. But
Poor Pete and Pete.
When I think back to it, music was awesome. All this. But then I think about how much I was terrified of my mom, how much I hated her boyfriend, how much it was like being at home was constant anxiety, constantly anxious. I would go hang out with...
You weren't like a kid with no worries, right? Like you felt like you had like, you would be like, oh God, I gotta go home to the fucking...
I would get scared to go home because I would be like, fuck. My mom would come to pick me up at daycare and I'd be like, fuck. All right, here we go. Let's hope if she's in a good mood, it wasn't that bad and I could get through the night. If I came home, like when I started going home by myself when I was 11 and learning that you didn't know who was coming through the door, and if she came through fucking angry, I was like, here we go. Just go to the basement that smells like cat piss. Fucking play Nintendo.
Yeah, if you're an abused child, the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if you remove
You have
that,
to remove personal strife.
If you remove all personal strife, the 90s were absolutely the best decade.
Because-
Personal,
I'll tell you-
if we're doing personally,
'cause look,
2010s were the best.
There's many people in Los Angeles who could say the 90s sucked simply for those 3 days of LA riots.
Yeah, if people got fucking.
But
I mean, if they're doing
as
personal
a
stories,
person on the East Coast watching that was just good TV to me, buddy. I didn't even understand that. You know, I was not young enough is the wrong word because I was what was it, 93? It was,
yeah,
right?
I think 93.
95.
You know what? I'm going to use a Sublime song, April 26, 1992.
It was actually April 29th.
April 29th.
Yeah. But the song's like wrong.
The song is wrong?
And there's 2 versions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But that's how I've always remembered when the LA riot started. Because of that song, April 26, 1990.
The 29th's my mom's birthday.
Okay. So your mom...
So it started, I remember it starting
Can you get an owner for ONS? That's On's Grocery Store.
East Anaheim, all the windows are busted out.
Yeah.
It's like a free-for-all here. And,
I mean, in hindsight, the song is like just a bunch of white dudes singing about the LA
rioting.
riot. But smoking weed in high school and listening to this, you were like, I fucking love this song.
I just got the thing on Facebook, the Incubus on tour with Sublime with Rome.
Yeah.
I want to go.
I want to see Incubus, but I'm not going to be able to sit through Sublime.
You're going to have to if you go with Christine.
Well, I don't have to do anything.
You can sit in the car while I go. Do you think they're opening?
Huh?
They're definitely not closing.
Who's opening? Did you guys have Sublime was... You think they're opening for Incubus?
That was
Yeah,
a
they
that was
are.
a beach thought.
Sorry, my bad.
That was her beach.
What a moronic thing to say.
That was
bad,
beach
Incubus.
club.
There's someone who has definitely at least 7 hits versus the What I Got guys.
You guys don't know all 4 albums front to back.
I don't know all
every
4
lyric,
albums. I
every
know the
song.
one album very well with What I Got, Caress Me Down, that song. I even
self-titled.
40
That's
ounces,
the
yeah,
one you
self-titled. 40 Ounces to Freedom, I didn't even know that well. I just knew that one Sublime album. Incubus, I stuck with them for a while.
Yeah, I mean, hit after hit.
It started with Pardon Me, and then you go into
Go to their
Robin the Hood, nothing.
Go to
Secondhand
the list and
Smoke.
Christine,
Stand by Your
please
Van.
do your job and look up a fucking
Bradley
list
Noel, Acoustic
of
and Friends.
Incubus
Didn't
songs,
even know
please.
that. But Incubus had a lot of Stellar. How great is Stellar?
Hit after hit.
I mean, they got a lot of
I
hits.
love Incubus. I gushed over Brandon.
Oh yeah, I mean all those albums. I remember.
Don't look at the album. Go
I
to
remember
their
A
hit.
Crow
Go to
Left
their-
to the Murder. What's funny is I was working at K-Rock at Light Grenades. Light Grenades came out in 2006, which had like Oil and Water. It had a couple. Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here. How about just go from the beginning? Drive, hit,
Hit.
Animalia, I don't know.
Stellar, hit.
Wish You Were Here.
Nice to Know You. Hit.
Nice to Know You. Hit.
God,
Yeah,
Stellar
keep going.
rules.
There's more. There's
my
more.
favorite
There's more.
Incubus song. Song fucking rules. Pardon Me.
Pardon
Huge.
me.
Warning.
Jesus.
Hit.
I love Incubus. I'm sorry I said that.
Megalomaniac.
Hit.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Megalomaniac was off A Crow Left to the Murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk show left on mute. Talk shows on mute. Another hit.
Is it? I don't know that one.
Yeah, we played it a lot on KFMA. Shout out KFMA Day. Dig, great.
Keep going down.
What's funny is I remember working at K-Rock, and the program director that came in was this woman that ran Hot 97. She didn't really know rock radio, and Light Grenades had been out at this point for like fucking 2 years. And she was like, she took over. She's like, we got to play this new music from Incubus. And I was like, in the meeting, I go, this album came out 2 years ago. And she gave me a look where I was like, I think I'm gonna get fired because I was like, this is old. She was like, fuck, oh fuck.
Lewis goes back with them to Science, which is like a little more of a metal-y album.
Yeah, that's when he had dreads.
Yeah.
And it was longer. Yeah, that Science album in 97. And then they blew up with the 99 album, Make Yourself. Make Yourself was their biggest album. And then A Crow Left to the Murder, Morning View.
I
There's
saw
a
them
couple
in '99 with a 12-string orchestra behind them, and it
That's
was
badass.
awesome.
That's badass.
I let her on the SDR show from home to tell him that.
Was he like, was he awesome about it?
Yeah, dude, he ruled.
I love
He was
hearing
great.
that.
He's
I love
gonna
hearing
come
that.
on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I say he's I don't want him to not be what he is, and he is a bit of like a. He's probably barefoot a lot, wearing like pants.
Oh, I guarantee
linen
he
pants,
wears
perhaps?
linen. I was just going to say
Yeah.
that. He's probably in linen a lot.
Yeah, but like I don't know. He pulled off the cool of it, and he was like he did. Here's the thing: he seemed all like spacey and trippy and that kind of guy. Yet laughed at everything I said.
Correct.
Like wasn't like shitty at all.
You know what's funny is when you're like,
it's my full gauge.
That's such a comic thing of when you're like, when you go to a show and you're like, this show, like you hear other people and they're like, it sucks, dude, don't do it. Don't, and you're like on it and you're like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then the crowd is really good and you like, they love you. You have a good set and you're like, this show's actually really fun.
Yeah,
I've done that a lot.
He goes, no, that's great.
Like I've done that at like certain venues where they've been like, dude, that venue sucks. And you leave and you go, pretty good show.
I liked it.
I had a pretty fun time.
Someone said about Houston, they were like, "Oh, that fucking place sucks with this and the staff and that." And I was like, "I thought everyone
I had a lot
was
of
very
fun.
pleasant and very sweet to me."
I had a real good time.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's funny is when you don't have a
Not
good
a
time
complaint.
and someone else does, and they're like, I love that club, and you're like, fuck them. I didn't like them.
well, I was at the one. I won't say what the club is, but I heard first, like, I think Patrice went first, and he came back and he was like, "Yo," he's like, "This place is flat out bad." He was like, "It's really bad." And then Kurt was going after Patrice to do it. And then Kurt, we were both, me and Kurt were talking about it, and it was kind of like, oh, Patrice just being like Patrice. You know what I mean? Like, oh, somebody on the wait staff didn't like him saying, "Come here, bitch," or something, you know? And so maybe he had a bad time because of that, or whatever it is, right? And then Kurt went and came back, and he was like, "Nah, dude, it actually is that bad." And then I was like, well, still the same thing for Patrice.
Sure.
And now Kurt just like weirded him out, you know? Like
Sure,
he bugged his eyes too early in the show. That's all it takes.
That's another comic thinking where you're like, I'll change him.
I'll go there and get him. And when I came back, I was like, oh no, that place is rough.
When
It's not rough rowdy. It's just it's a bad design of room.
when I first started headlining, I saw Al Madrigal at a Comedy Central party when Comedy Central was still doing comedy and Amy Schumer was still a comedian. I saw Al at a party and I was like, I'm doing I'm doing Off the Hook Comedy Club, and this is when it was in neither
Marco
one of us.
Island.
Yeah, neither one of us worked there anymore, so we can say it out loud.
Oh yeah.
But it was in Marco Island, and Al was like, he was at the table, like going through food, and I'm like, well, I'm doing Stanford and Sons, and then blah blah blah, and then Marco Island Off the Hook, and he goes, "You're doing Off the Hook?" And I went, "Yeah." And Schumer was in another conversation, and Al went, "Amy, come here. He's doing Off the Hook in 3 weeks." And both of them were like, "You're going to bomb so hard." And I was like, I don't think so, guys. I'm kind of new. I got this energy.
My comedy is designed to yell over flying fish platters.
Yeah. I was like, just know when you hear the mussel shells hitting the bucket, know that everyone hears that when they're just eating shells and putting them in a bucket.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no way. Bombed.
You're hearing lobster screams from the other room.
Yeah, and then you're just in front of a giant shark jaw.
Yeah.
Just just bombing for old people. God, that was brutal. And I really did think, I was like, they're too big now. I'm young and hungry. They're getting famous.
I'll tell you what. I did okay on Marco Island.
On Marco Island?
Yeah.
I fucking ate it.
I wasn't like anything like holy shit caliber, but the shows they weren't memorably bad. Put it that way.
I went and sat in the green room and just needed that moment of silence of like,
and maybe a broiled fish platter.
No, dude, it was when I first started dating my ex.
Oh, and she was not into fish?
No, she just watched me bomb, and she just had to awkwardly stand there and be like, "So, are we going to get dinner?" And you're like, "Yeah, do you want to do calamari?"
Early dating embarrassment sucks. Eating shit the first time in front of your chick is a pretty rough one. Christine, early dating with me, came to a black show I was doing and tripped up like 2 little stairs that were in a thing, and of course some black dude went, "Damn!" and drew a bunch of attention to it. And then Christine, I just saw her silhouette getting up and being like, "Okay, good, okay," but she was not okay. She was hurting bad.
Oh man, when you have
she put on a good face. She said she sat back there and cried a little bit. It hurt so bad, like just to herself, like,
and you can't look at it yet. You're like, I know my knee's bleeding. Ow. When you fall, I've tried to fall. I've fallen.
Do it in front of white people only.
Yes.
Not young white people.
Not young, not teenagers.
Middle-aged to older.
Over 20.
Yes.
Actually, over 30.
Over 30, yeah, for sure.
I don't know. The last time I saw someone fall, remember when Michelle's French is hated outside?
By the way, that was after Jay and I bombed upstairs on that weird event.
Oh, yeah.
And then she fell, and I was like, thank you, God. That was God giving me a little bit back.
She like tumbled back
Dude,
and fell on
loved
her
it.
butt.
She fell right on her keister, which after that felt good.
Wasn't she like a heckler sort of too?
She
Or
was
the
yelling
show's
out.
about her, yeah. Right.
She was like trying to make it about her, and then she fell, and I was like, that's right when I left. I was like, I got to leave on that. That was too positive a note. I remember in college, I would always smoke cigarettes before class. I'd just like stand outside the lecture hall and smoke a cigarette, and it was like raining. And Arizona is like very Greek. It's like very frat and sorority. And it's a lot of rich kids. So they're shitty. They're just shitty little fucking assholes. And they always dress the same. You could tell just who was in a sorority, who was in a frat, because they were all, unoriginal and just did the same thing. And this woman had like, remember the little, I don't think they were fleece, but they were like a kind of booty short that was like
Terry cloth.
They were like terry cloth. All the sorority girls would wear those, like light blue or pink.
What sluts?
Just ungodly sluts.
Garbage trash.
And then they would wear t-shirts, and it started raining, like Arizona rain, where it just comes down fast. And so I was just under the overhang smoking a cigarette, and this girl started like trotting in her fucking flip-flops, and then just ate it right on her butt. And I was like, "Pah!" Like mid inhale, I was like, "Pah!" Like that. And she was like, "Fuck you," and got up. And then she walked past, and this other guy was smoking. Was like, her ass is all dirty too, and she had like rain butt. It was awesome, man. That was awesome. That really made my day so much that it stuck in my head until now.
In Montreal, once we cheered for a girl peeing in the snow, and then she fell.
Great.
With her own pee.
Great. Always great.
She like looked everywhere except up. She just looked every direction she could possibly look, and then it was like, coast is clear. I'm gonna rip a piss outside. And then I go, wait for the stream, everybody, now. And then everyone started clapping, and she was like, it like fell on her thing. It's great.
My original point was like when you fall and you try to laugh it off with the people around you.
The more you laugh, I have a theory. The more you laugh, the more really damaged you are. You're trying to make your sad what you would normally be by yourself, or angry pain noises, and you're turning around like, oh,
Yes. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I got off the 6 train going to Dose, very hungover, hot, large Dunkin' coffee in my hand, was running up, was like click, clack, click, clack, and fucking missed the step, and was like bam, and fucking coffee all down my arm, hot coffee all down my arm, knee just collided with the next step, and I was like, ha 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 ha, oh, lost my balance, and everyone was like, what the fuck? And I was like,
there's something sprained at least.
I got up the stairs and I'd go around the corner and be like, oh fuck, dude, Santa Maria, my fucking knee, dude.
My worst, I fucking ate it rollerblading one time.
Dude, that's
down the
fun.
Strand.
That's fun.
Ate it. I fell right on my tailbone. And then it was like, I was so embarrassed by the fall that I just got up and I'm like, luckily I made a fat joke. I was like, luckily I have cushion. And I kept going.
Yeah, just those people making jokes. If you're just around, you're like, what, lady? You're like, what's up?
I was so embarrassed. And I kept going, and I ended up having to like sit on a donut in my car. It was horrible.
We should.
I think I may have broken it.
Dude, that's so. You broke your coccyx. We should. Coccyx. I don't even know. Coccyx. Am I saying it wrong? We should do a new thing where someone falls, you cheer them on, and you go, even though you're laughing, we know you're in pain. It's okay.
It's okay, sir.
And they go, ah, oh, thank you. Oh,
I was coming down from my roof a couple weeks ago now, and I was like the steps down because it's down. It's only like 4 floors down, and
in your building?
yeah. You can go like there's stairs that go almost like right to the front door of our apartment to go to the roof. It's just I'm not walking up 8 flights of stairs. I'll walk down them. It's 2 flights per floor.
Damn. So you can take the elevator up.
Yeah,
Walk
walk down.
Perfect.
But I was walking down. It's just like a concrete hallway of stairs, and I was walking down and just doing like the stupidest, like looking at my phone or whatever. And it's one of them. Like when I got close to maybe 2 more flights of stairs, I just thought I was on flat ground, still looking at my phone, and just fell forward with my phone, elbows, knees, everything. And again, when you're by yourself too, is almost like the silliest feeling.
Yeah.
You're happy you're by yourself, but you're also like, this was so much more dangerous.
Yeah.
No one's here. What if I hit my head?
I will tell you, missing a step, landing on your knee and hyperextending it is one of those things where you're like, my knee's busted. I just ripped my ACL.
Yeah, the most painful noise I've made in years was falling out of bed and Christine just having zero reaction.
When was it? Like in the morning or at night?
In the middle of the night.
And you just rolled out?
It just rolled off the bed. Yeah.
Damn.
We have a California king-size bed.
I know, I'm so jealous of you.
And I rolled off of it right onto the floor. I mean, right onto my ass bone. And I made so much noise, and it was like that, like, oh, I can't breathe. Oh.
Ryan.
And Christine's like, what happened? I'm like, it hurts so much. I don't know. Something's loose. And she was like, okay.
So, are you going to pick yourself up?
Now, by the way, dog slept in bed with us the last 2 nights, and now when Christine and the dog fall asleep, they're alternating, just making noises, not snoring. Christine, she gets to the snoring, don't worry. But in the beginning of her falling asleep, now her first half hour of falling asleep before the snores is, and the dog does the same thing.
Well,
So I was like looking back, I kept like I was like smoking a joint, watching TV, like laying on my belly, and I look back once in a while, and just both of them go.
my favorite's the dog dreaming where their paws start moving.
Yeah.
It's like a
Waking up to that dumb little puppy face was so great.
Oh my God, it's great. But sleeping brings us to the point we were talking about before the show. I didn't realize this my entire life. I've been getting terrible sleep.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't realize that affects you greatly.
I mean, I do realize it, but
I didn't realize how much it affects me. And then there are like things where when you live with a person, this is the first time I've lived with a person. So there's a person who's basically watching me sleep, being like, dude, it ain't good. Like, you thrash around, you wake up.
Yeah, I would say me and Christine both need something. I don't know what it is exactly, but she's not sleeping soundly for sure.
I'll lay there and Katie will be like, are you up? And I'm like, oh yeah. And she's like, what have you just been laying there? And I'm like, yeah. I slept from 2 to 4 a.m. and now I'm up from 4 to 6 a.m.
Really?
And then I'll sleep from like 6 to 9.
Up the whole time, 2 hours.
Kind of, like not like completely up, but like I'll lay there and I'll like roll around and I'll like roll back.
No
and be
TV
like,
on.
No, I'm just like
See,
sitting there,
that's a big
and I think everyone's mad at me. I think everyone hates
That's
me.
no good.
I think that I suck so bad.
That's not good news
It is.
at all.
Why don't you try melatonin?
One time I texted you something, just completely benign, just like something. I texted you and you didn't text me back, and I just woke up and I was like, Jay's mad at me. And I just sat there rolling around being like, what? Why is Jay mad at me? Dude, I gotta be
That text was so benign.
I gotta be a better friend. I gotta be a better. And then literally at 10 a.m., you texted me back and you're like, oh, that's awesome, buddy. And I was like, dude, I'm a psycho. So I can't, we've always joked and called me Dewey Cox because I can't smell. Mm-hmm. Before COVID, it was gone, which I think it was cigarette smokes. I want to go get cigarette smoking. I think I want to get checked for polyps in my nose, but also something that I don't realize is that I can't breathe. Like, I can breathe through my nose like that, but then when I open it, I'm like,
It's probably the same.
and it hits
thing
my
through
brain. I'm
smell.
like, oh, that's what's up, dude. I'm like, dude, that is
Let's do
crazy.
long form math.
So I'll just be sitting there holding my nose, and Katie's like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
Breathing.
just sucking in sweet air.
Why don't you put a breathe right strip on?
Tried it. Doesn't work.
Okay.
I tried it, and then what happens is in the middle of the night, I just fucking tear it off.
Are you gonna get a nose job? Can we film it?
I don't know, dude. I'd get an if there was something. Well, Jacob said that his nephew had a deviated septum and
Coke.
couldn't. Yeah, because he just is a blowhead,
Your nephew was blowhead?
dude.
He
coming
broke
from
it.
Miami.
Never got it looked at. He just had like a baseball thrown at his nose twice when he
So
was
he
a kid.
self-medicated with cocaine?
Never did anything about it. And the doctor says it's the worst broken nose he's ever had to fix. It took 7 hours of surgery.
Jesus.
But now he can breathe. He could never breathe. He was just suffering all the time.
So is his life that much better?
yeah, he's loving life now because now he can literally breathe.
But Dan,
I gotta go.
if you find out, here's what I'm afraid. First of all, I'm sure if I go get a sleep study, they're going to tell me I die 16 times a night.
Which is my favorite thing you do is when we
Yeah.
were talking about Mike Suarez.
Every time you wake up, you're waking up from
Like,
death.
No!
You go.
I was on the other side.
Oh God! I saw my grandfather.
I saw my dad. He shook my hand.
He said, "You feel a fine
It
boy."
was a ball of light.
God is a woman.
Dead zoned. I was dead zoned.
But yeah, I forget what the first thing we were saying. Before we
You were
went to
saying
that
if
great
you went and got a
tangent.
sleep study.
I'd be afraid they'd tell me so many bad things. But then also, I know a lot of people who use CPAP machines. A lot of people. And they tell me, they go, welcome to your new life when you start using this thing.
You know what's something that
welcome
makes me
to
want
your
to do
new
it?
life. And then I'm like, one, don't sleep on my back. That's a big deal. I was like, two, I can't lock myself. I'm already insecure enough to have to throw on a fucking oxygen tank every time I want
Hey,
to go to
sorry,
sleep.
I gotta go deep diving.
And I know before everybody writes in, I know there's like little ones now you can get and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how. They're not that little. They're still connected to a machine. And so even if it goes just here,
Yeah.
it goes to a machine. And it's fucking ridiculous looking.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Christine, bring up CPAP. Where do you go now?
Can I?
This is the
I
one
was
thing.
listening to what you're saying.
Can I bring up the devil's advocate of why I would want to do this? Because one of our friends did it, and he said the first night he slept with the CPAP machine, he got 8 hours of straight sleep. And he
Sal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sal's like, I woke up and it was unbelievable.
I mean, even that little thing is ridiculous.
I don't know, dude. I think I might be down. If that little thing, a micro CPAP device,
The micro one I would try because...
not the one in the top left that makes it look like you were in a horrible car
That's what I
accident.
mean, yeah.
I don't want one that makes it look like they're rebuilding
So I
me.
guess, yeah, are you thinking about making me a RoboCop?
Yeah, I better be fucking Bane after
Look at
that.
that thing with the fucking the whole thing next to it. It's
I don't know.
horrible.
But if I could, dude, hot chicks don't have CPAP.
Oh my God! But even if they do, don't worry, Christine. If we get a sleep study, you can tell them before you take your nap that hot chicks don't get CPAP. See what they
Yeah,
say.
hot chicks don't get CPAP. He goes, "You're actually right, miss."
I totally need
They
whatever
go,
it is.
anyway,
I need it.
and they're like, yeah, you're absolutely right, miss. Anyway, let's get you fitted for this CPAP machine.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Hottie boom bodies don't need this. Anyways, we're gonna put you on the big one.
You should just know I'm going to die in my 50s because I don't want to look like that for you.
You can look like that. I don't mind.
Could you imagine though here's what I'm fantasizing about.
I
Just
feel
really
like
getting good sleep and not having to take 4 naps throughout the day like I do. I already took a nap today
That's why you're such a napper.
because I don't sleep.
Why don't
I
you
thought you were
try?
going to say, that's why you're such a nasty bastard.
That's why you're such a fickle prick. I go, well, all right.
Jesus Christ. See how you feel, Christine.
Yeah, what are you, my mom in 96? What's going on? You bring real Trish 96 energy.
Why don't you try melatonin?
I've tried it. It doesn't do anything.
Doesn't work.
No, I take
And you
edibles
don't wanna
before I
take
go to
Ambien?
sleep.
Take max strength.
Dude, I take all of it.
Okay.
I took an Ambien, and I was amazed with how much it worked.
So why don't you get some Ambien?
Because I will just take them every night. I'll just fucking.
You get sleep.
Oh my god.
You might be like the type of person the Ambien's actually for.
Oh my god, dude! When I took an Ambien at my grandmother's house. Now again, this is the bed that my dad and aunt died in.
So you saw them, for
real,
sure.
Real hard to sleep in. I took that Ambien and I slept like it was a fucking California king at a nice hotel.
Yeah.
I woke up like, whew, all right, so I'm gonna get some coffee, maybe write down some of my thoughts in a journal. This is great.
A lot of stuff just came to me.
I think I just want to
And
go
that
fishing.
just scared you because you liked it too much.
I liked it too much, and anything I like, I'm like, I'm going to abuse this.
But if you're taking it just to like actually get a good night's sleep, it might be really good for you.
Dude,
Lou, does your girl or anyone in your past complain about the way you sleep?
No, because they usually snore too.
Yeah.
nice. You just it's like bailing. It's like dueling banjos.
Yes.
I haven't spent a night with a woman who doesn't snore in 20 years.
Yeah, you can't sleep next to a delicate fairy like that. You
Oh,
need a
I
woman
do, but
sawing
can I
logs.
tell you
You
something?
need a lady lumberjack.
Can I tell you something? When I look over at Christine and she's in like an unflattering state of sleep and woofing like that, I'm like, I fantasize about. I go, what's it like just to have a girl just sleeping like a girl next to you? Just
Katie's got an adorable snore.
she does snore though.
It's very minute.
Yeah,
but it's
Just
very.
like cute girl sleep.
Yeah, it's like,
not Christine. Christine's
No,
got
I'm like a
Christine's
man.
got those like. It's when you have like not even girlfriendish reactions to it as a guy. Like give her like an actual kick to the fucking like ass. I'm like, stop it.
Smoking at 15.
stop. I think that's what I don't know.
I think between your smoking and your broken nose that you can't smell or breathe out of.
I know. I'd love to fix the fucking schnoz, dude.
I mean, you can afford to fix it.
Katie's also like, your fucking nose is all deep in your head. It's all in and weird. She like looked at it. She's like, you're all up and in. So when I pull it out, I'm like,
Dude, I want to get you a fucking Joan Rivers nose.
dude, I'll have that. And I love it. You're going to do that.
Yeah, dude.
Breathe.
Wow, it's just all about breathing. I'd say just take the nose off, and make 2 big holes.
You have pretty big nostrils, too.
I
have
know,
big
dude. When I push
nostrils.
it back.
Damn.
No, he
I
doesn't.
cannot breathe.
You think he has big nostrils, Dan?
Look at those. Look at those big
cannot
fucking
breathe.
holes. I cannot breathe. Damn, I would love that.
Jacob, are you a sound, no snore sleeper?
I don't snore. No, I've been told. I've never snored.
Do you sleep talk?
Yeah, I will make no weird.
Dude, I had a great sleep talk. I had a great sleep talk.
Always pain.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It always seems to be. I've been told it sounds like somebody's like. I'm being tortured.
Burning you?
I fall asleep.
But
So when I
not too
take
bad.
naps, I fall asleep very deep, and then I get fucking scared because like I'll wake up out of it and be like, "Ah!" Like it happens a lot. Like naps in hotels. Sometimes I'm startled. I don't know where I am. But now it happens on my couch where I'll wake up and be like, where am I? I'm at home. But Katie and I were in Portland, and I fell asleep before the show. It was like afternoon. Katie's in bed watching.
You wake up, I've been kidnapped! No, wait.
Dude,
No,
even
I'm
better.
supposed to be here.
Even better. I was dead asleep, and I went, and I mean, deep sleep, maybe for 15 minutes. And then I just go, Mom, what? I went, Katie's sitting next to me on her phone, and I go, Mom, what? Who said that? That's weird. And then I went, I'm so scared. We gotta have her on the show so she can tell you.
I'm so scared.
We gotta have her on the show so she can tell exactly how it went. But I remember it, and I went, Mom, what? Who says that? I'm so scared. I was just laying there like, and then I was petrified. I don't know what it was inside me. And Katie's like, you all right? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what that was. And she goes, I don't know what the mom, what? Who says that? Might be the funniest line anyone said coming out of sleep. Mom, what? Who says that?
I had that.
I've blurted out like half dream shit before.
Yeah.
And then when the person next to you asks you about what it is, like sometimes you still have like it's a weird combo of like, part of you knows that was a dream. Mm-hmm. You're still having the emotion of whatever the thing in the dream was.
Yeah.
And you're trying to make it almost like you're thinking in your head about how you can make it make sense to the person. You're like,
Yeah.
I must sit in my sleep and it's like, you have to stop or it's enough already. Like, what? He goes, it's just, he goes around the room, you're like, what could be enough already? What could have been enough already?
Yeah, you're trying to cover.
And you go, and then you just have to go. I don't know. I guess I was just half dreaming.
I'm fucking hammered.
Falling asleep.
I'm hammered.
I guess I was just falling asleep.
That's what I always say to Katie.
The fuck do I know about? I don't know.
I'm fucking drunk, dude. I don't fucking know. What? Mom? Who says that?
Yeah,
I'm
waking
so
up,
scared.
waking up terrified. My thing
Waking up terrified. It happens to me so much. It happens to me so much. Today, before the show, I took like a 15-minute nap.
Yeah.
And woke up. I was like, okay. Oh, fuck. It's Tuesday. I'm okay.
My hotel naps, which will come from a good old-fashioned, like, cross-country or something where I go, or no, like a 4-hour flight. I flew to Houston. It's like, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, whatever. But that's the only sleep I got was on the plane. So then I land, but the problem is I'm like, I should take a nap right away. But when I get there, I'm just up.
Yeah, you want to do stuff.
I want to do stuff. Yeah, but I want to do stuff like I want to get like
unpack. You want to set up your laptop. You want to set up your fucking, if you brought your Switch to the TV.
The internet. It's, I used to do video games all the time. But like also just like maybe get a Starbucks, fucking find out where that's at, go outside, smoke a cigarette, get the lay of the land and where you go smoke, blah, blah, blah. And then what will happen is, say show's at 7, just to give it time, 7 p.m. show, I'm like, okay, I got to start getting ready at like
5:30.
5:30, legitimately. So I always, when I get to a hotel room, set an alarm for 5. So I'll be up, or I can go smoke a cigarette before I take a shower and kind of wake myself up and whatever. Inevitably, I don't fall asleep till like 4 something. And then, if it's like any substantial word, I'm almost forcing myself to take a nap. But then when I get up, I'm almost audibly, like whimpering, like almost crawling the way to the thing. I'm like, I don't want. It's like I'm like, is the show's gonna be canceled or something? I'm still so tired now.
I do love that though. The one thing I always look forward to is it's a one show night. I'm gonna go have fun for one show.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get food, and then I'm gonna go back to my little cage.
Yes.
My little fucking kennel.
The toughie is though like a thing like this weekend. It's great because it's not. It's great because you don't have to be away so long. But it's only the 2 days. But you're like fly in 2 shows. Next day 2 shows. All like the big, and they're like the hang night. You want to bullshit with people. Afterwards.
Friday night you want to hang. Saturday night you want to hang.
So you don't get that Thursday. Just be like, do the show, kind of dip out early, and like you'll be back. You could theoretically be in bed at 11 p.m.
Yeah, because that second show, you're like, even though it's a Friday, it still feels like a Thursday when you travel.
Oh yeah, it's 2 shows is a lot, but it's good. I got a lay down flight so I can sleep. That'll
put
make
LA
a world difference, by the way, when you go out there.
I put LA in front of San Francisco, so I'm going to go do the Comedy Store and then go do Cobb's. So the Thursday hang gone because I'm going to hang after. Because I got people on the show that I want to hang out with. I think a couple friends are coming by to do sets, so it'll be fun. And then, it's LA, which I never go to, so I'm going to see people I never see. I'm not going to just go back to the hotel and then Saturday, and then Friday I go up to San Francisco. But the good part is LA to San Francisco is like a 45 flight.
Minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I'll just get there and
It's a go up and come down jam.
yeah, I'll just go and check in. But what I meant to tell you, now that we're both PS5 owners, I guess you could do this with the PS4. Do you know that with your controller and an iPad, if you keep your PlayStation 5 on rest mode at home, you can play it on the road on just a iPad and your controller?
What? What is that even?
It's an in-ground trampoline.
It's all in the title there.
It
Jesus,
says it all right there. Look into it. We looked into it. Yeah, you can download an app on your iPad, and then you can just bring your controller with you, hook it in your iPad, and you can play PlayStation 5. But it has to stay on rest mode at home.
That's fine.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Really?
Yeah, dude. Katie's brother told me about it, and I was like, Katie's brother told me about it like 2 years ago for PlayStation 4, and I was like, that's made up. And then when we were going away somewhere, we were going to Raleigh. Katie was coming with me, and she's like, well, maybe we should try that PlayStation 5 thing. And we like looked it up, and we didn't have she couldn't find her iPad to download it on. But it works on iPad. You can do it on your phone. Just all you got to do is bring your PlayStation controller.
Man, I got to tell you, on the road, too, I've really taken this. I stopped doing it for a while. I don't know why. But this weekend in Houston, I got right back into sleeping all naked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rolling around.
You know what I do? And I take the stuff that I'll want when I stand up and when I have clothes on again immediately. I put right on the bed. First of all, I only pull a corner of the bed sheets out because
You want to slide
yeah,
in?
make my little taco, and then I just get out in the morning and make it again. No need for housekeeping anymore.
Yeah.
It's over. I give them my garbage, and then I'm like, everything else is fine.
Really just got to put the garbage out in front of your door.
Yeah, which I did this week too.
That's all. Yeah.
But and then I just put like my socks, underwear, sweatpants, tank top, like right on the bed, like next to me almost, where a person would be. So when I get up in the morning, yeah, as soon as I pull my little Tussie and Dorcas out of the covers, I get to cover them all up and be nice and warm again.
That's always the problem with me sleeping naked, is having to go pee in the middle of the night and then feeling cold and afraid and
oh my
naked.
God. Cold hotel floor on your feet and walking naked. First of all, just walking naked to the bathroom to go
with
pee
a sleepy
feels
wiener,
weird.
if it's not puffed up.
Yeah, and just like you just look like I definitely have like a Muppet naked.
I
like,
feel
like someone's operating me.
I look
like
like
a bunch of people are operating me to the bathroom.
I feel like I walk like Sasquatch.
Yeah. It's definitely like a hunch.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah, and you gotta darn your wang out to get it to be a piece straight.
Dude, I had lunch with my friends that I haven't seen in fucking forever, and they have 2 kids now. Mm-hmm. And I know the older kid, but the younger kid's a baby. And me and my friend, her husband was gone, and we were like hanging out, waiting for him to come home at their house. And she was like, "My son's penis is really small," and I was like, "Really?" And she's like, he's got to like squeeze his balls to piss. And he's like 2 or 3. And I was like, damn. You know, we were like talking about it. She's like, I don't know what to say. I can't bring it up to a doctor. I don't know. And I was like, well.
My mom did.
He's like, what's that?
My mom brought it up to a doctor.
Really?
Yeah, I told that on I think my first album I tell a story. I got diagnosed with a little wiener.
I don't remember that.
It's not micro penis or anything. It's like, it's not even diagnosed with a small wiener. My mom saw me get out of the shower. You don't remember this? She saw me get out of the shower when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember this.
Yeah, she saw me get out of the thing. Well, I said that the story came from my little brother when he was like 13 or something. My mom called me. She goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, I just saw your brother get out of the shower by accident, and like he's got like a humongous, like penis, or I guess you said, right?" And I was like, okay. And I go, by the way, I was like, there was a time where I go, she also told me in front of friends, by the way, she brought this up, that when I was a little kid, like 10 years old, she saw me get out of the shower. I don't know why she accidentally sees all of her kids get out of the shower.
She goes, oh, sorry. All right.
Whoops, sorry.
Ocular scan.
Yeah.
You're good.
And she was worried about the size of my penis. Mm-hmm. So she got my stepfather to come take a peek at my wiener in the same mirror shot, I guess. And then they made an appointment for me to go to the doctor for, I thought it was just like a checkup, but the doctor was just paying a lot of attention to my dong.
Dude,
I didn't complain. I was a good kid.
The thought of your mom being there and you're just being a 10-year-old boy out of the shower, like,
oh, that's what I'm saying.
And your mom goes,
Joe, Butters. I'm like, he goes, everything's fine. I'm totally normal.
You go, I love my life. I'm a little boy. And your mom goes, Joe, come here. Check this out.
Look at his little dick. And my stepfather's dick is so big that he went like, maybe that's a problem. I don't know about other dicks that much.
He goes, sorry, mine's stuck to my thigh.
Yeah, really. So we, I went to the doctor, and the doctor told my mom, he goes, no, he just doesn't have like a huge penis.
He's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like nothing. She didn't say nothing. My mom was concerned and brought me there. And the doctor was like, yeah, he just does, yes, he doesn't have like a
TNT size queens.
He doesn't have a big dick at all, I guess, but it's not like medically small.
Well, that's what my friend was like. I was like, is it like, she's like, it's not a micro penis. He's okay. And I was like, oh, okay. And she goes, and also when he's got a boner, it's a good size. And I go, oh, he's a grower, not a shower. And she's like, that's what I've been thinking. Like
I said that to Jay when we first started dating, and he went, that's the meanest thing anyone's ever said to me. And I'm like, I'm like, it's just one or the other.
Yeah, because you could be small and then get a boner and you stay small.
Yeah.
You
could.
But if you puff up and reach your full potential.
It's something about your girlfriend's voice going like, you're not a shower. Like, if you had to pull your dick out right now, it would be humiliating. But if it was hard, people would be like, that's fine.
Yeah. Even
get hard. Get hard.
Get
hard.
Get out.
Get hard.
Or get out. We
gone,
got to make
be
that.
Hard or be gone.
We're going to make that sweatshirt. The bonfiremerch.com.
Be hard or be gone.
I saw someone tweet today that we need a nice soft hoodie with "Be hard or be gone" on.
A soft hoodie. Be hard, be gone.
Be hard, be gone. We'll find it.
We will find it. I believe it. All right, let's take a quick break here. God, I love the Lost Tapes. Don't tell anybody I call it that. It's the Bonfire.
And now, back to the Bonfire.
He's over the 90s?
Well, musically, I put the 90s over the 80s. But I mean, you talking like also lifestyle? Then I'm like my Bonfire years. I just bet had much more fun.
Yeah, the 2010 to 2020.
We really have opened up your world to new experiences, and then you run from us and go to Florida.
And then you leave us.
You don't want to come back. I told Jacob to get a dog. He said his building doesn't allow it, and I'm like, you get a therapy dog.
Long Island accent you just got there.
A dog and a slice of pizza and coffee.
I think because I've been saying Dawkins, and that's just how you say that.
I can't bring myself to do that, to file them as a...
I think you need one
therapy
for your
dog, and then have that giant sign on them.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You just
don't
have
to.
paperwork.
It really, honestly, Jacob, I can send you the link. We got Myrtle in and out. I mean, it took me 20 minutes.
Yeah, mine's getting done ASAP.
Oh wait, your apartment? Then you're not really supposed to have dogs, but
No.
you got a therapy registered.
The realtor was like, yeah, once we get the realtor sent it to me. He's like, once we get this figured out.
And you don't ask. It's not like you ask your building. You just get the dog, and if they say anything, you say it's a service dog.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just, you're like, I need a service dog.
They can't do anything. My landlord actually told me that, the old building.
Yeah. Get one you can ride.
Dude, that'd be awesome if you got a Mastiff. Just a giant fucking dog. Get a horse. Get a small pony.
Ooh, see if I get a small pony. You want an exotic? You want an exotic cat? We can probably get you a big cat.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Get a Maine Coon.
Dude,
Low.
Whoa!
What was that?
My grandmother's cat was Maine Coon and mixed with Tabby, and she didn't know. They found it on the street. My dad found it on the street of Lake County, and was like, "Look at this little cat. I'm gonna name it. It's orange. I'm gonna name it Hobbs." And then it got so big, it would just sit in the sink.
Oh God, it's a hyena. I thought it was a cat.
It was so big. It was like a.
Ew,
it was like a 35-pound cat, and it would sit in the sink, and it would just spill over the sink.
I hate that.
He was a mean motherfucker.
I hate that cat.
You hate it? I love them.
Look how
Do
big
you
they
really?
are.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, dude. Giant rabbits are way cooler, right, Jay?
A giant rabbit is better than that. That's scary looking. That's the one that might eat your face if you sleep too soundly.
Yeah. I can't
And wake up and you wake up and it's like, oh, so I thought you were dead.
Yeah, dude. The one on the left was like Hobbs, except he was orange.
No.
He was so big.
I wouldn't. That's like bringing a fucking natural adversary into your house.
Look at the one with the white one with the ears. You're like, no, dude, those ears are aggressive.
I'd rather have a puma.
That'd be awesome. Very
I'm
drug
Or a
Harvey.
panther. We get a panther.
I want one of these so bad.
Why? Look how fucking awful looking it is.
Like, you know who wouldn't want that? Dawkins.
No, Dawkins wouldn't want that. You want to get a
Maybe
fucking?
half
You want to get a lion to eat our dog?
I want a lion.
You know.
What do you have the fucking pet taste of Mike Tyson?
Yeah, go win a heavyweight championship and then
Yeah.
buy your weird animals.
Always wanted a lion.
I want a tortoise habitat.
Do you guys know that Christine spent $20,000 on an albino python?
Yeah.
If I have the means
She paid.
to
Yeah,
have,
she paid $1 billion. She commissioned a scientist to see if he could make that flying dog Falcor from Neverending Story.
Couldn't believe she did it. Somehow she got it done. It's like, hello,
Where's Christine? Flying around on a dragon. Yeah, close your eyes.
I'm Atreyu.
Tell me what you see.
Never ending story. Big cats, no thanks. Big dogs, yes please.
Yeah.
Dan Soder way. Big cats.
So I think we're about to have a muscly motherfucking big old dog.
Yeah, dude. Your dog's jacked.
I don't.
Myrtle
Myrtle
was
was
a-
Myrtle was a
as long-
soft bitch the
long,
whole time.
As long as it's fun and like, you know, gentle and everything, I don't mind that though, because when I'm out of town, like Christine having to take the dog out at like 1, 2 in the morning, maybe, like that's no one's gonna fuck with a dog if that dog gets bigger.
She's going to be about, I bet she's going to be about 65, 70 pounds. Get ready to feed her.
30.
Get ready. Yeah, 30's a lie. Whoever told you 30 was trying to get that dog
No
out
one
the
said
door.
that. Did somebody say that to us? Who?
The foster mom.
Yeah, but she was also doing too much
Dumb
puppy
bitch.
voice. I wouldn't trust her.
She did a lot of puppy voice.
She's also the foster dog. She's not
She
the breeder.
kept telling.
She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking
She
about.
did the thing where she kept telling us what the dog is.
Yeah, that's Tony Romoing the dog.
Yeah,
We do that all the time with Myrtle. We're like,
Yeah,
Myrtle's over here like, I'm not going outside in that weather.
And that's
It's like,
what she
I
did.
don't know what she thinks. I'm just putting it on.
Unless it's a
She's all like, no, what are you doing now? You're gonna take me to the thing.
It would have been funny if she said,
doing?
it'd really be funny if she said fucked up psychological shit. She goes, no, you're tearing me from my sister. And you go, all right.
I kept pointing that out myself. I was like, all right, now let's. I go. You're coming to live in a house where it's going to love you. Now rip her away from her sister,
Yeah.
and know they'll never see each other again.
They might.
They might.
No.
I'm trying to figure. I think Jacob should adopt her sister.
No, I'll block it.
Jacob,
I'll block it from happening.
adopt
definitely wanna
Dawkins'
get a dog
sister.
now. It'll make me so much
Get a dog,
happier
dude.
to be there.
I would love if you had a dog, dude. Another bonfire
And I
dog.
gotta-
Let's everybody get dogs.
No,
DJ
You
Lou.
get a dog, dude.
Dude, let's get him a barn. Let's just get him like a fucking railroad dog that just they find.
Can we get you a Saint Bernard?
Oh.
A barrel?
Dude. Dude,
Why?
do you not like dogs?
I could take him or leave him. I like cats, especially that big fluffy motherfucker.
You want a
we just
big
saw.
old cat.
Yeah,
Yeah, get a Maine Coon.
Yeah, dude, let's get Lou a big cat.
I'm gonna
I'll
get
get
you a Maine Coon as a present.
I'll get you a Maine Coon if you want a Maine Coon. I want this fucking jackal in my life. What is that thing?
Dude, Lou just comes in and he's like, well, Will is terrorized. The cat doesn't like Will, doesn't like Pearl Jam, doesn't like smoke.
I think it's
He goes,
that,
Lou comes in with a black eye. He goes, I forgot the water. It's my fault.
I mean, look
Cat
at
needs
this.
water, you know?
I feel like He-Man with his fucking
Yeah,
You
cat,
would, dude.
big
Put a
cat.
saddle on it.
Yes.
Oh, no, Jacob, you should get a Maine Coon and ride that.
How do you not get a Maine Coon and name it Vetter?
Cringer.
Vetter the Maine Coon, so cute.
And then every time he's going, he goes,
And, it doesn't hit the ears right.
He's eating his wet food on the ground. Cats are mean.
Yeah, look at its face. Looks like it doesn't look like it enjoys its owner.
Yeah. It's like,
It
stop
doesn't
putting up with you.
enjoy getting its picture taken. That's the problem.
Oh, you say as soon as that camera was over, this thing was juggling? Okay.
What is it, the Warner Brothers frog?
Ribbit.
Hello, my baby. Hello,
No, you
my
gotta
dog.
see this thing's rendition of Hello Dolly.
I gave it a little top hat and a little cane. It works out.
That's the thing about them. They only like their owners and fuck everybody else.
They don't like your
That's the
owners
appeal.
either. Lou, if
They're
you
the-
die,
This cat will
they
eat your face.
eat your face.
What cat does that?
Look it up.
Every cat.
Christine, look it up.
I used to have a cat that used to like lick my face or like
Yeah, it was seeing if you were dead. You reacted, and it's like, oh, all right.
All right.
He goes,
Close.
oh, it's a waiting game.
Close.
Close.
Yeah,
It
closer.
was pretty cold.
Warm.
He goes, it was pretty cold skin for.
The breathing stopped in between a couple of breaths.
Yeah, if I had a cat, I worry it would try to eat me in Christine's face 16 times a night when we die over and over again.
Just pushing you.
I'm convinced me and Christine just take turns dying.
This is from Google. It says, yes, your pets will eat you when you die, and perhaps a bit sooner than is comfortable. They tend to go for the neck, face, and any exposed areas first, and then, if not discovered in time, they may proceed to eat the rest of you.
Go to horrifying stories of animals eating their owners.
Oh my God, this is on BuzzFeed.
I mean, I could see a monkey
What?
doing that.
Eating you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. I think this is about domestic pets, though.
What kind of pets? Not all pets are going to eat.
While we domesticated dogs and cats, now dogs also, millennia ago, they still have some aspects of their wild ancestors. Go ahead. So it's saying your dog just eats you as steak and shorts? But in some cases...
like a cartoon, like you're one of those floating chicken fucking thighs?
In some cases, dogs will eat you because they're just really hungry.
Myrtle didn't eat her food this morning, and kind of nervous about to go.
You haven't heard from Katie yet?
Yeah, she hasn't texted back. Oh, God.
You just see a bloody shoe on the floor, and Myrtle's like looking at you like, I did something bad. Dogs normally don't eat you immediately after you die, but there's always an exception to... Okay, so that's not really...
Yeah.
It would have to be starving.
Yes.
It's going to tell you right now, I know this. A cat starts eating you the second when you go...
Father?
The cat goes, lick, lick, dead.
Are you alive?
What's the next doohickey? You're not safe with cats. They'll eat your face, too.
Damn, dude, that's a bar.
The reason for the cat's morbid appetite? Cats are a bit more complex, but that's partly down to the lower number of available published cases. But it's likely the motivation is the same or similar to that of a dog's. But cats are still superior, aloof beings, at least in the following case. Go ahead. Sure. Oh, so these are actual stories.
Here's one that's
BuzzFeed. You don't know shit.
This is one that's a cat and a dog. 2010 study in the Journal of Forensic and Legal Medicine. In the case, a woman was found dead in her bathroom by her husband. She died of an aneurysm, but her nose and lips were missing.
Oh.
Quite interestingly, and a bit contrary to what people may think, all of the injuries found on the woman were caused by her dog. The cats had no part in it, she said. Like the other unusual cases that lack a waiting period, the dog had preyed upon the victim only a few hours after her death. Dude, you imagine walking in the bathroom and a dog just like eating, and you look down and Christine's nose is gone, and it's like...
Dude, if Christine's nose is gone, they're going to find my puke at the scene.
in the hole.
I go, Christine, oh my God, and I roll her over. It's just a hole in her face. Like, hamsters are the worst of all. They might go down. They might make their new dream home out of your decomposing body. Oh,
you sick fucks. But also, what a way to get a hamster in your butt.
Yeah, what's the things like Han Solo?
Yeah, hey, you're Richard Gere.
Like, I thought these things smelled bad on the outside. That was my hamster voice doing
good.
the Han Solo's
like
line.
that.
Thank you, Jacob.
A 1995 study, greatest decade of all time, in forensic science.
Best time, dude. Sorry, LA riots.
Details possibly the only documented case of an animal scavenging by hamster. Like nearly all the above cases, the victim was found dead in her home with unusual marks and wounds on her face. The woman died of pneumonia, but some of the marks on her face were arranged in pairs. After a careful investigation, it was found that the woman owned a free-range golden hamster. When investigators looked into the inconspicuous open drawer, they found a ghastly sight. The hamster's burrow. Its new home was made out of human skin, fat, and muscle tissue. Oh.
Is that it down there?
Oh.
Shut up. That's
The
wild.
tots don't deal with cats.
No, but tots and cats, no thank you.
We were told at a very early age that they'll take your soul while you're sleeping.
Excuse me?
This big. Yeah, you never heard that? When you're sleeping, they suck it out of your mouth, your
What?
soul.
And
That's not a real
I
thing.
mean, my mom believes that.
That's not a real thing.
Oh, yes,
I
it
don't
is.
know.
That's old country belief.
Yeah.
That's an old-timey thing, like a picture will steal your soul? So a cat will steal your soul out of your...
Yeah.
Probably because the Egyptians like cats so much.
Look it up. What?
I feel like you should be running a store with gemstones and that you have to walk through. The cats in Egypt. Cats would steal your soul.
Sheba, the goddess, said that the cat.
God, dude, I can't wait to go into Christine's knickknack shop in Woodstock. When you guys are living upstate.
Yeah, let's live on the edge and get DJ Lou a Lynx.
Dude, I love it.
Kumia's
got a crazy cat. Doesn't Kumia have
a Bengal, which is also great. They look like little leopards.
Yeah.
But
I'm so in love. I'm so in love with you too. Oh no!
Wait, I'll tell you what you should do. What we should let's like jackass it. Like when Jacob comes back, let's just open the studio door and throw this Lynx cat in here and close the door again.
He's gonna get your soul, motherfucker. And that's Lou's cat.
That's how they start.
Yeah.
Then they start so cute.
Oh my gosh! Look at this guy.
No, that thing's got Pennywise eyes. Look at it; they're all over the place.
Come down here,
googly-eyed idiot.
Look at this one.
We all float down here.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
What? Oh, what is that? Oh, it's a toy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fishing for lynxes.
Future bird killers.
You like birds, Jacob?
Loves birds.
Yeah. I feed them every day here.
Is that true, man?
Are you going to miss the birds when you move back up here?
Oh. Yeah. Every day I have my ritual. I get up when I'm having breakfast, I feed the birds. I have ducks, cranes, and like blue jays waiting for me.
Oh man, I really understand why Jacob doesn't want to come back here. He's got like a Disney princess life where he wakes up in the morning and he's like, "Hello, friends."
Like, out of the water, up the lawn.
Mr. Blue Jay, are you happy?
Jacob, I'm gonna hit a Petco.
Cinderella song.
Jacob, I'm gonna hit a Petco, and when you come home, dude, I'm gonna have you a cage with 10 parakeets in it.
Yeah, dude, get ready. You're gonna walk into a bird store.
Also, I have wild green parrots here.
Hello, friends.
They all greet me.
I love living in Florida.
Yeah, I want you to open the cage every day in your apartment and put your arms out and just watch all the birds land on you.
Yeah.
Sing Disney songs. Yeah.
Do it, dude. Go full Ace Ventura. Come to me.
Children of the night.
Are cockroaches.
Dude, this is Jacob. He wakes up like Cinderella. I would be so freaked out.
Butterflies, too.
You feed butterflies?
Damn, dude. Cinderella just puts her ass up in the air. No wonder that prince risked everything.
How do you feed a butterfly?
No, I've planted specific plants that attract monarch butterflies, and now they're all over.
You're doing some light landscaping outside your mom's house?
Yeah, I'd like to do some gardening.
Okay. Yeah. You are going to hate it here. Well, let's get you a lynx cat to fight with every night.
Dude, I love it. Jacob goes, "Where are you? Where are you?"
He's like, holy shit. It's behind me. It's everywhere.
Logano, where are you? We'll name it Kyle Busch. Yeah, it's Jacob.
Why don't you get, Jacob, why don't you pick up falconing?
Do you think they're going to miss you, Jacob, when you leave?
I believe so. Yeah, I do.
I think they will.
You think two birds are going to be holding a banner and they're going to fly out and someone goes, "Bye, Jacob, we'll miss you."
I wouldn't leave. That would break my heart.
The crane just had a baby.
Oh, man.
It's the most adorable thing. It doesn't have feathers, just like fuzz.
Where do you see it? Where do you see this crane?
Can we eat it?
They walk by. They just come, like the cranes have a...
What's the meat like, dude?
Take a baby every year in March, and I've witnessed the last 2 years.
Oh my god!
Take one of those homemade knives and chop one of their fucking heads off, dude. Eat them,
dude. Stop it. Those are Jacob's friends.
No, don't eat the fucking green rat parrot. What is it? What are they? Pigeons?
Parrot, yeah.
Wild greed parrots,
dude.
Wild parrots are terrifying.
Well, they were brought here illegally, and then I think the story goes that during a storm, the cages were busted open, and then they just flew out and started breeding here in the wild. Oh,
Jesus. Well, it's like, I mean, there's something in Tampa, right? There's like a pissed off chicken problem or something.
Yeah, dude.
Right in the streets.
I went down to Key West.
Just pissed off chickens with blades on their talons.
I went down to Key West like a couple of years ago to do a show, and there was just chickens walking around.
Yeah.
She was angry.
Great.
Tampa, same thing. Wild chickens, and they're a problem. And they're like a problem, and I was like, oh, so do they have people go kill them? And they go, don't get close to those fucking things. I'm like, wait, they're dangerous too? He goes, oh, yeah. And then sometimes you'll see like 3 of them like walking towards you, and you're like, what's up, guys? I don't have any problems here.
Hey, guys, I don't have any money.
I'm like, welcome to Ebor, motherfucker.
Come around here. Come on here, fucking wear the wrong colors, cuz.
It's literally on one side of that club, there's wild chickens. On the other side of that club, there's fat Cuban or Puerto Rican women wearing like string bikinis.
Fun.
On the 7-Eleven side of the street. It's the only 7-Eleven I've ever seen that has like 2 armed cops.
What?
Standing outside of it, yeah.
What?
And it's all bulletproof glass. I'm telling you, that Ybor City one, dude, people go in there and they can't wait to disrespect people behind the counter. They walk in and just do it. Goes, what's up, pussy? And then it's like, go get Chex Mix or whatever.
My buddy Carlos is from Ybor City.
He's always like, yo, can I get this for free? I see him always just bullying the cashiers. It's wild.
No, man. I only make $7 an hour, dude. Please stop.
Yo, let me get this for free.
No. Man, I am very excited to fix this nasal problem.
Did Jacob ever answer what his favorite decade was?
I don't know. Jacob.
I did. I said, well, musically, like, I think I could say maybe 5 of my favorite albums came from the late 80s to early 90s. And then,
but that makes you split.
Socially,
what is it?
Socially, I told you, Bonfire, my socially, my favorite year.
Socially, my favorite year was the Bonfire years.
Yeah, me too.
2010 to 2020.
But I'm talking about the world, where the world was at.
And by the way, I know we
think
started the show in 2015. I'm saying.
It just seems like that was a good decade before everything got very hostile. Everyone, I think 9/11 was a cutoff, and then everything got, got more angry since then.
9/11. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
2016 everything got super angry with Trump, but we were here, so that was pretty cool.
No. Trump fucked everything up. He made Republicans absolute lunatics. Then he also made
fried liberals.
He made liberals fucking lunatics.
He made liberals just screaming at the sky.
Trump fucking goddamn it!
If you're mostly politically apathetic, it was entertaining. You're like,
that's what it was to me.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I don't fucking care.
I'm like, oh, he's out. All right.
I don't know.
Concerts. I'll tell you the one thing. Concerts blew after smartphones.
Yeah, I remember.
I've never really enjoyed a concert since then.
Jack White in 2009. I remember reading a Rolling Stone article I thought was really interesting because Jack White was like, "Yeah, the road kind of sucks now because everyone's on their smartphones." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good point." Yeah. He's like, "No one's clapping, everyone's recording."
Yeah,
I wonder why.
Ever since he said that, I've watched
make them because like Tool makes people put their phones away.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I mean they don't make it. I mean they say put your phones away.
You'll get kicked out.
People were policing it, but the thing is, like, you really can't do it. They're not doing. They weren't doing like
yonder bag
your phone or anything. They were doing an honor system. And he says at the end of the show, he tells everybody, he goes, "All right, take your phones out now for this last one."
Man, I remember Chris Rock catching someone recording him in 2008.
Oh yeah, Stand Up New York.
Stand Up New York.
Yeah, it was a comic, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Motherfucker, I know when a recorder's on."
Yeah,
I remember that
comic. I think it was a comic that Christine almost made out with when we first started dating.
Oh.
I don't want to say his name because it's this
Can you redact it? Can you redact it, Lou, when you edit this? Say his name and it'll be like, boo!
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I didn't make out with him, though.
Well, it's redacted.
Whatever. They got fingered. You can leave that in there. She fingered him. He fingered her.
Yeah, dude. I remember. I think
she
watching
him.
I think I remember watching that set.
I did finger him
because he was like, "Hey, man, don't record me." And then the guy was like, "I'm not," and he goes, "Motherfucker, the red light's on. I know when you're recording me." And I was like, "Ooh!" I was just in the back, like, I had just moved here. I was like, "Ooh, this guy's gonna get in trouble." Chris Rock is mad.
Yeah, I think. I think it was that kid. But yeah, it was like he was.
At Stand Up New York, yeah. I was absolutely there. Because I remember being mortified for him. Because I was like, damn, you got caught. You were like trying to be slick. Yeah.
The problem is not even the phone, it's the giveaway. People are still trying to look through their phone instead of just like filming it and enjoying the show.
Yeah.
The problem is they're always kind of making sure their video's good. And it's like, for what?
Oh, this was all audio.
Oh, he was audio recording.
He had a recorder. this wasn't a smartphone. Oh. He had a recorder, and he's like, "Is that a recorder?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You recording me?" And the guy's like, No. He's like, "Motherfucker, I can see the red light. I know what that means." And the guy was like, I'll just, and he's like, "Get him out of here." It was like a thing where I was like, "Damn, dude, you got caught recording audio old school."
Yeah, really.
It was like
with a little tape.
It was like 2007, 2008. It was when he was doing the Shoot the Messenger special.
Very early in my comedy, did like the technology changeover of things. It was like,
oh my God, you had tapes.
$50 for a VHS tape from a club that was like charging you to perform and give you a tape.
A tape.
You could do 4K quality in your phone now.
Dude,
isn't that wild?
I had mini DVDs. That was the one I had. When like now I have DVDs of my first paid weekend where I can't.
Mini DVDs are pretty funny. But again, I also remember people getting, I think I may have gotten one too. Like a big innovation within my comedy was like, it's like, oh dude, they actually just have like voice recorders, digital like voice recorders that you can keep into, instead of like, I remember still having like the answering machine tape in the little recorder.
Yeah, I had one of them. That was when I started. I had the little tape, and I would run it, and then
your little baby tape,
and you'd be like, and then you play back, and then I remember when it became a stick, where it was like just like the gray stick that it was digital, and then you could go back and forth.
Yeah,
I think I still have mine. I can find mine in my desk. It's somewhere.
But even like when you have to get like a good small camera, what was that little camera that came out? I got one.
Flip.
I think Wayne got one. Was that the iFlip?
Oh yeah, the white one with the screen on the back.
iFlip. It was just
and then you could,
flip.
it was just called a flip, and you could screw a tripod on the bottom. I got a free one.
And
somehow.
then, you push a button, like the USB came out, and it would just plug right in your computer, and you could pull it off.
Yeah, that was it, all the way to the left. Cisco flip video,
and just utterly, it was look at it.
I still have mine.
It's $30 now, and isn't that funny? Because it was, again, it all moved very fast. It went so fast from DVD and VHS. Like VHS and DVD was like a pretty quick, and then so quick to digital. And that's all you would ever have to do now. Someone's like, email me their set.
Nice.
You don't have to. You used to put it like fucking go to the post office.
Send a
talking
tape.
about like it's like 1800s, but I mean it's just wild how
in your career
within my time of that. Yeah, exactly. There was no social media, there was no Facebook, there was no MySpace yet. I had a sidekick. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. It is the Bonfire. You can do that.
And now, back to the Bonfire with Big J. Okerson.
I love talking to Colin and Jim. I love to talk to anybody that was around, especially Colin, that was around for the 80s bubble, and then watched it collapse, watch comedy go flat, and then come back again. And you're like, what were those lean years like? And he was like, that's when you started. Guys like you and Kurt and all them started in the lean years where comedy was not popular.
Well, but not just the lean years, the comedy wasn't popular. Black comedy was very popular,
but white comedy
and we were in the black comedy circuit. So I said we were doing shows where like people were. It was fucking terrible shows also and scary places. But I'm just saying like that was alive and kicking. You could, if you were on the jump around, you can go to 3 shows a night in the black circuit. I don't know if it's like that now in New York, but it was like you can go to like 3 spots and they would be like packed.
Really?
And everyone was like talent hosts this one every week, or Rob Stapleton or Will, those guys, and they just had like their audience, and it was like everyone had like their room, and it was the thing. Drew Frazier had Manhattan Proper.
I think Donnell had a room in Brooklyn.
Donnell had
Giannis always used to talk about.
It was Poke Knockers.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
What's crazy is Louis years ago put up a set on his website from the Cellar, where they had to combine all the shows because they weren't getting enough audience members. Oh, yeah. And there's like 13 people there. And it's like Louis and a bunch of other people, like Greg Giraldo.
In my hosting years there, I remember having to do a thing like you'd find out that day with the attendance. You'd find out if they're just going to bring the second audience in, like on top of the, you know what I mean? So like you could tell everybody at the end of the show, it goes, hey guys, we have a second show starting. If you want to stay though, just stay where you're at, and you can watch the next show. It's going to run till 2. And it was one show ran till 2 a.m. The idea was you were going to see people coming in and out all night. Now people come for a 2-hour, hour and a half, 2-hour show.
They do 4 in the night.
No, right. And they come for a show and they leave at the end of a show.
Yeah.
The cool time of that, sure, it's money making now and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But like the cool time of that was just that. When you were on the 9 o'clock show, Like when you went on at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, you were on the 9 o'clock show.
When I first
you were
moved
still on the
here-
9 o'clock show. It's just people would come, and then 15 people might come in at a certain time, and then 2 people leave. And
That's
then
crazy. It was just like
so. You from one comic to the next, you could be like, oh man, like so. I'm going after Dave Attell a lot.
Yeah.
It's like people would wait for Dave Attell to finish,
and then leave.
and then a lot of people leave. So it's like Dave Attell for 100 people. You know what I mean? Or it's a small room, right? What does
Yeah.
it hold there? Like Dave Attell for like 100 people, then me for like 25 people. You know what I mean? And you have to sit there through the Exodus.
Were
know
you
what I mean?
still hosting in 07? At the Cellar?
Yeah,
That's when you started
maybe.
that was when you and I started hanging out or becoming friends.
Maybe a little bit.
And then you would get me in, and it was still like that. Because I remember one night I came for like the 9 o'clock show, and I slowly was getting drunk. I was like, or I had like enough money. I think I like did did the budget, and I was like, I can get 2 pitchers and mozzarella sticks at the Cellar. And I was like watching, because it was like Geraldo, it was Mike DiStefano, Todd Lynn. I remember like the lineup. And then it was Attell, and I was like waiting to watch Attell. And I was in the bag for Attell, but Attell was on the second show, and they let me just stay. And I stayed in the same seat. And then I remember fucking Doug Stanhope just came and sat next to me to watch Attell, and it was an open seat. And I just was like drunk enough that I'm like, Doug Stanhope? And he was like, hey, like that. And he's just watching Attell. And I was like, and he got up to smoke a cigarette, came back. I was like, this is fucking insane. But then Louis was around that time, 07, 08. And that's when it blew up. And that's when it was
energy.
like,
I
When-
don't know, because it wasn't, because I didn't work in a comedy club until 09. And Louis, it was like after 2011, I started hanging out at the Comedy Cellar. It was probably around 2013, 2014.
no, I think 09 was when season 1 of Louis was, because that really changed it. Louis on FX.
FX show.
Yeah, it blew up season 1.
Oh, I'm thinking it all blew up from Louis. I didn't know it blew up from Lucky Louis.
No, not Lucky
No,
Louis.
not
Lucky Louis was like 05, 06. I'm saying the show FX on Louis was 08, 09?
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was 09 because
2010.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, 2010.
Yeah,
That's
makes
when it
much
got
more
big.
sense. Yeah, it did. And the first getting big wasn't bad because it was like, Louis draws like
Good comedy
people.
Well, he was an O&A guy.
And then it became tourist
Yeah, now it's
thing more. It's like every show there's people from Iceland, and last
Yeah.
night there was people from Iceland.
it got very famous. It was funny when it first started getting big in 2011, because that's when I got
There
past.
used to be a barker outside.
Yeah.
There was somebody trying to get, not like a comic even, like that was someone's job, was to get somebody, trying to tell people to come in.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy to think the Cellar, someone barking people into the Cellar. But I remember in 2011,
Absolutely. And offering like 2 for 1 and all. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude.
2011, when I got past at the end of 2011, it was popular enough that I remember sitting out front smoking a cigarette, and people being like, oh, like the show Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's the beginning of Louis.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, that's the Comedy Cellar. They were like, oh, the beginning of Louis is right here.
And now, yeah. So it's like, well, here's the thing. Now that it's like a money machine, and I get it, and great comics work there, and the shows are great. It's nothing to dig on that.
But I mean,
It's the energy of the place.
We used to sit in the stairwell and just smoke pot all night long.
God, I love that. That's how the show was born.
Yeah. Well, so we used to do that.
We used to smoke weed.
But just
We
out
used
there.
to hang at the Village Underground because there'd be music going on. You could get a drink at the Fat Black, go downstairs to the VU, listen to music.
You know what's crazy is I went down to where CB's used to be. I forget what it is now. And I just remember hanging outside that trash pile, smoking cigarettes and getting drunk.
Yeah, CB's has some fun memories.
That was a
got
club that
wrecked
existed for a little bit. And then I remember Jesselnick.
Tuna tartare was the
Oh,
motherfucker.
so good. I remember Jesselnick one time came by. It was like just hanging out. And we were outside smoking. And it was like DeRosa, me, and a couple other people. And this guy was like, Anthony Jesselnick. Anthony was just getting famous from the roasts. And they're like, Anthony Jesselnick, are you going up here? He goes, no. This is for C comics. I'm down the street at the Cellar where the A comics are. And I was like, I didn't know him well enough, but I was like, God damn, it's a good burn. DeRosa and I were just sitting there like, fuck you, dude. Whatever.
It's not even the bees.
Yeah, you can call it a fucking C Club, you motherfucker. Yeah, Mark Norman and I got in so much trouble at CB's because it was like 101 degrees out. And we took 2 beers each into the walk-in cooler downstairs. And that gay black waiter came in and was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And Norm was like, what? It's hot out there. And they're like, you can't bring beer into a walk-in cooler with food. And we were like, oh, yeah, dude. Norman and I were just sitting there talking about comedy, drinking beers, and then the cooler opened, and they were like, "What the?" It was so nice in there, though. Oh God, I loved it.
Yeah, even like they said, I remember like
that's when I was opening for you.
I remember starting a podcast in whatever it was, 2012, I guess it was.
Skanks.
Yeah.
I remember going to
the
Skanks.
end of 2011 or beginning of 2012.
Yeah, something, whatever it was, though, I was like, but when we started it,
Yeah.
it is funny. Like we started with my intention being like, well, I guess they're saying like, do this now, like do a podcast. Like, okay,
Dude, I remember doing it.
It's like podcast is like. I mean, I literally was telling a comic in Houston this weekend when they were telling me like their goals or what they kind of want to do, and I was saying, I was like, "Are you doing a podcast?" On they're like, "No." I'm like, maybe at this point you might as well. I said, if nothing else, like if anyone's listening or not, just to like, it's a good gym for comedy.
It is crazy though to think.
I say a lot of things on stage that are derived from a conversation we have.
Yeah, there's a couple. I talk about man caves being gay because of this show. But there was a moment when I remember going to the creek in the cave and doing skanks upstairs for like 8 people.
Oh, tops.
And that was when we did Lewis being adopted by the gay man. Where he was like,
Rick doesn't like it when that's still one of my hardest laughs.
Yeah, where he goes, Rick, is all of this yours, Rick? And he goes, no, Lewis, it's ours.
It's ours. That's what it was. It was like a Lewis wasn't there, right? It was me, you, and Dave.
Was
he there for that?
Lewis was there. Yeah, Lewis has always been. I mean, it's crazy when you think about podcasting becoming like when Bobby first started doing it. He's like, dude, it's fucking, trust me, it's gonna be big. And now everybody does it. Now what's crazy about podcasting.
I would tell you just to do it, actually, if you're a young comic. Do a podcast.
I would say podcasting right now is what stand-up was in the late 80s, where everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
If just someone has an interesting take, they're like, I'm gonna do stand-up. Just the way that old comics describe, like, yeah, you'd see an accountant who could do a decent fucking Johnny Carson emceeing, you know what I mean? He wasn't a comic. He was just like...
Well, I think if you want to be a comic at this point, it's like start a podcast, because like the comfort of talking into a microphone is just the value, high value in that.
Yeah, what's insane is I've never had a podcast.
Yeah, you never have.
I've never had a podcast. I think I might go down as the only comic that didn't have a podcast.
This started before. It's so funny because 2016 this show started, and obviously 2015 this show started. Skanks had already been going on for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I remember when it was like, when Comedy Central discovered the word podcast. And it was like 2 years after we'd been doing the show. And all of a sudden it was like podcast.
It's just like anything in entertainment where it starts as something that a few people do, it catches on. I mean, Rogan's got more viewers than any of the late night shows.
What if social media just didn't catch?
I think we'd be a lot happier.
And it just was like a thing, like Friendster. I remember Friendster being do you have a Friendster account? Like,
I didn't start Friendster because I was like, this is pointless.
MySpace,
the girl I had a crush on was on MySpace, and I was a comic.
MySpace, I got it because you were a comic, and they said you should have one just to display your stuff.
And also for people to contact you.
Right. And that's what it was. And then I remember hearing about Facebook, and they said it was a college thing.
Which I was on, because I remember being hungover in college at my friend Troy Fingal's house. Smoking the old Fingal. I was dry heaving in his backyard. And then I smoked a cigarette, and he's like, dude, you should sign up for this thing. And I was like, what is it? He's like, it's called Facebook. And I was like, what? He's like, it's an online yearbook. I was like, this is
a book of my face?
Yeah.
Fuck you, gays.
And I remember doing this. I remember going like, all right. He's like, there's a lot of hot girls on here. And we were in college. And I was like, oh yeah. He goes, yeah, you can go by colleges. And I was like, go to the University of Colorado. I just knew people. I was like, go to Colorado State. He's like, Colorado State's not on it. He's like, Colorado's on it. And I would like search and be like, oh fuck, that girl from my high school's on it. And I was like, he's like, Arizona's on it. You can sign up. And I worked overnights at KFMA. So it was like prime social media time. You just get on there and go lurking. You just type in and be like, Arizona girls. And then you'd be like, who is this?
Watching Bobby Kelly, like, cause who was
on the show Tuesday?
He was pretty quick to jump on technology when it came out.
He's that guy.
He loved it. And I remember this guy, Kurt, made him a website one of his first like website. He had a website pretty early.
Yeah.
He was following Dane. Dane had a website,
Yeah.
and he was smart.
Yeah.
I think the same person did Dane's and Bobby's actually. But Bobby's
RKLive.com, dude.
when he was describing to me like the
Robert Kelly
thing,
Live,
and he goes, dude, you gotta see the animation, and it was again at the time. This is something that wouldn't blow your mind right now. I mean, we have our phone could do that fucking Corey Feldman hologram and everything.
Yeah.
It was basically like that. It was like a little Bobby walks out, and like whatever this section was. Like Bobby would throw a green ball, like in this page would change.
That's
Your
great.
little Bobby would throw a green ball down to like the thing.
something we talked with that. Yeah,
We talk about him
That we
when he
talked
comes
about
in,
when he
yeah.
was on Tuesday was. I remember when I first started doing. You know what, dude? Bobby got an app made. It was a Bobby app. And he was like, he's like, dude, everyone's going to have apps. Everyone's going to have their own app. And
Say
you can
no more,
download
please,
it.
about this. Say no more about that.
Okay.
We already went to work on Bobby
Dude,
and his app.
I think I still have his app. Hold on. I think I still have his
I
app.
think on what Thursday to get to hear the Bobby Kelly. Please don't even click it. Let's see if it opens.
When he's on here?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I totally forgot I had the
You already
Bobby app.
clicked
No, I haven't clicked it.
Okay,
I
don't
won't click it.
Don't click it.
Oh my God.
The Bobby app.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty
I
exciting.
used to plug it on old you know what dudes. He'd be like,
That's-
dude, check me out on my app.
My app.
He'd be like, my award-winning app.
I don't know. Did you say that? Award winning?
He won some awards.
Look up what awards Bobby Kelly.
don't know.
Robert, what's the app called?
Fuck, dude. I'm gonna have to open it to look at it because it's
No,
like,
stay right on the outside of it.
it's dude. It just says Robert Kelly.
Yeah, do Robert. All right, it's fine. Robert Kelly app.
Dude, I want to know what happens when you launch this thing. Is this gonna ruin my phone?
Dude, I didn't know I was going to fucking broadcast all your personal information, dude.
I didn't know, dude.
Okay, I didn't know, dickhead.
I love Bobby.
Damn, I am in a dilemma right now.
Why?
My tummy's rumbling.
You got a poop?
I don't know, but I'm also hungry.
Oh, damn, dude, you're up and down all
You want
around.
me to get you a breakfast wrap from Starbucks?
Ooh, girl. Is your tummy
a little
rumbling
ha-
because you have to
A little
poo?
Hale and Hardy, maybe.
Is your tummy rumbling because you got to poo?
I don't know. I think I do have to poo.
Dude, I don't know what it was. I went
I'm
to
not
my
gonna poo
place.
here, though.
I got in-person therapy for the first time in 2 years.
How was it?
Awesome.
Loved it being
Fucking
back.
Awesome.
You guys could really look at each other and size each other up.
Still a pussy.
Did you hug?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I almost crushed that old man.
You hugged him?
Yeah, I love Alan.
Aww.
I saw him. I was like, get over here. I hugged him twice, and when I left, too.
Aww.
It was awesome. I hadn't been back to that. It's 2 years to the date. Almost.
I've never met my therapist in person.
It changes. It changes everything. I think you're more locked in. I think you're more like, listen, I adjusted to phone therapy just fine, and I got a lot out of it. But something about being back in the room, you can't do the thing where you're like, look at it, just being like, and then, you know what I mean? You're like locked into a conversation where
Yeah.
like, he's like, what else? It fucking
I
shook
don't
me
mind
up a
Zoom
little bit.
therapy. I can play solitaire off camera.
That's funny. Do you? No, okay.
no.
But Zoom therapy, I mean, like phone therapy, there was.
Do you? Do you really? That would
know.
be such a waste of money.
I don't know, man. There had been times where I'd look down at my phone and someone had texted me, and I'd be like talking to Alan, and I'd be like, yeah, no, I definitely miss my dad. But this one right now, it's like, it went so fast. It felt like 15 minutes, because there was stuff where you're like, oh, fuck, I got to bring this up. Also, being in an office where no one's listening, you can say whatever the fuck you want, which is great.
Yeah.
Doing it at home, I would hear a door open and I'd be like, you know, it's just sometimes I feel like I love her so much. I just sometimes feel like, you know, and now I'm like, she's being a bitch. I'm going to say it right now. Yeah.
I'll say it.
I'll say it. I was screaming from the rooftops. And then he's like, maybe you were being a bitch. And I was like, maybe I was being a
Come
bitch.
at me, dude.
It was nice though. It kind of made me feel like stuff's back. Like
Yeah.
that was like the final one.
My therapist lives in North Carolina. I'll never meet her.
North Kakalaka. Bless you.
We're having a real
one?
you've got mail relationship.
Oh my God. Sleepless in Seattle.
We're very sleepless in Seattle.
Would you ever switch to someone that's here?
You
found someone you
switch
liked?
to what? Bisexuality?
No, a therapist.
Bi
Or-
therapist?
A
Bi
bi
therapy?
therapist. They'll suck, fuck, do whatever you want.
Maybe a little around the
this,
world act.
little that.
Would I switch to somebody here?
Little northern hemisphere, little southern hemisphere.
In between therapists, if I stop seeing her ever, I won't be in therapy for a while again.
You'll lose. You'll lack the motivation to go find someone.
I'm not telling the story again.
I get that. I really am not looking forward to the day that I have to have another therapist.
Like I'm not in crisis.
Also, I'm not looking forward to the day where I have another therapist and they react differently than I'm used to Alan reacting, which is like holding me accountable. Well, if they're like, that's fine, I'd be like, it's not fine. Why are you saying that? Yeah. I don't want to come to you anymore.
Smoke up my ass.
Don't stop. Alan would have said this. And they're like, well, I'm not him, you know? It is,
Also, I asked on Tuesday, I got to ask Bobby about Mush Suarez. Such a sweet guy. But I'm like, he says sorry for, you know what I mean?
As someone that said,
someone that
does that still?
I'm like, is that my water? Or he's like, no, I'm sorry, it's mine. I'm like, why are you sorry about that? It's okay, it's not my water.
We can talk about it. I do that.
And then he goes,
I do it all the time.
And he goes, I go, why you? I go, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize for it being your water. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I'm sorry. And then he goes, and I see him go, he goes. He's like, Mike, come on. Like he tells
you're
himself
describing
constantly. I'm like, stop saying you're so. Well, Christine does this too.
You're describing Katie and I's conversations. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. And she goes, stop. Why are you sorry? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry for being sorry. Fuck. Oh,
Christine levels me with sorries for everything she does no reason to be sorry for, and never says sorry about the thing.
Sorry, club, dude. Sorry, club.
But do you not say sorry for things you've done wrong? Actually, where you should say sorry.
I over sorry.
On those,
I'm like, fuck.
I wouldn't mind that as much.
I'll beat the
Christine
shit.
doesn't say she's sorry for anything bad.
I will beat the shit out of myself for the smallest mistake. The smallest mistake. I'll be like, oh fuck. We play Rocket League, which we're getting real good at. We're gonna have to start
as a team.
Yeah, dude.
You and her a team?
Yeah, 2-on-2s, dude. Come see us.
Sling each other.
Come see us on an online tournament, dude. Come get a piece of the Kissy Boys.
2-on-1. You want to guys want a threesome with me?
Oh yeah. You want to?
Do you guys
split
party?
A chick? You want to split a chick?
Do you guys fucking party?
But I'll miss. You do it all the time. You miss all the time in Rocket League. It's soccer with cars. So sometimes you drive up to hit it and like it bounces weird and I'll be like, fuck, I'm sorry. Yeah, shit. And she'll be like, you are spiraling, dude. And then I'll just be like, yeah. But I'm trying to learn not to say sorry on everything.
I had a girl that I was managing at the stand and she would say sorry for everything. And I asked her, I was like, why are you
sorry?
I was like, why are you say sorry for everything? And she said, she's like, it's my ex-boyfriend. And I'm like, it usually is something where you just had somebody that made you feel like you had to be constantly apologetic.
I'm a big sorry on like, for some reason, anything I do physical.
Yeah.
With people playing basketball is the best example I have right now. But like, I spend most of the day, like I am so aware of my size and bulk and whatever. And like, so I'm a guy, if I hit somebody like in the arm or I just felt my elbow hit them, I'm like so quick to be like, it's like, you okay, man? You good? Like I over check on people. It's like, everyone's fine, dude. They're sturdy. But I'm like, you good? Sorry, dude. Sorry, man.
My McDaniel and our friend Byron.
There's been a lot of fights surrounding sports, neighborhood sports. Have been a lot of fist fights.
So you're worried that it's not going to escalate to that?
It's not, because these are friends, genuinely friends. It's not like neighborhood versus neighborhood when I was younger, but for whatever reason, like, I just like to make sure that, you're like, oh, I didn't mean to elbow you in the chest.
I'm so sorry. Are you okay? But when I was in 7th grade, McDaniel and our friend Byron's impression of me was, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Because I would do that even when I was being funny. Or if I was like trying to make a joke, if it pissed my mom off, because that's always what jokes do. You're like saying something to break the tension or to make fun of something. And she'd be like, what? And I'd be like, I'm sorry. I apologize. And that stuck with me. I'm fucking sick of it. It's the thing I do that I hate the most.
And when I say sorry,
I start taking it out of all my emails when I write emails.
Yeah, sorry to get back to you.
Pull it out.
Yeah, sorry to get back to you so late. Yeah.
When I say I'm sorry, I either am not sorry at all, and I just want this to shut up. I don't care.
Yeah.
Or I'm genuinely very sorry. If I'm like, it's something where someone's like, you actually owe me an apology on that. Like, if I don't think I do, I'm like,
Yeah.
I had one of those last week.
Yeah, where he just stood his ground.
He stood his ground. I was like, I really think you owe me an apology for that. That was really mean. And he was like, get used to it, bitch.
Guess you called
when
me.
a dick's not getting hard, you can see my fucking annoyance.
Guess you called me back though and said like, all right.
I do that all the time.
She's like, no. She called back and said, she goes, all right, I do see now what you're saying, right?
That all the time.
Yeah, I still thought it was mean.
I do that all the time, dude. I fucking suck. I'm sorry for how much I suck. But I really...
No, I'm sorry you're sorry, bud.
I just fucking hate it, dude. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I really just...
Everything. Between shows?
No, I had food before I came here.
Oh, don't delete that. How about you, Lou?
Sorry. I'm going to grab another iced coffee, though, because I'm feeling sassy.
What are you getting? A little Hale and Hardy?
I don't know. Let's see what I'm in the mood for.
Also, make sure you can try to go get a ticket to Jay at Cobb's Comedy Club tomorrow and Saturday, San Francisco. Come on out. Big J is going to be at Cobb's, so go get a ticket. Try to get a ticket.
You could try if you want to.
And you can also try to get tickets because he's going to be not only in San Francisco, but Fort Wayne. He's going to be Grand Rapids and Detroit with Bobby Kelly and Ari Shaffir, as we talked about earlier in the week. And then Ontario, California, and Washington, D.C. For tickets and other tour dates, visit bigjcomedy.com. And don't forget to download our podcast. We were talking about podcasts. Well, they took our radio show and turned it into a podcast that we release new episodes Tuesday through Friday.
Doodle size.
Yeah, little doodle dangles. Download, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen, and check out the Bonfire merch available now at thebonfiremerch.com.
And Dan Soder, of course, Hollywood. He's coming to you, the Comedy Store, March 31st, and then San Francisco himself for Cobb's Comedy Club. That's 2 nights, April 1st and 2nd. After that, Rhode Island, Austin coming, if there's tickets available. And I don't know if there are, but I'd say give it a whirl.
If you're in Austin, there's tickets. Go get tickets. Go get tickets.
They're performing in a 40,000 seat arena.
They booked me in a fucking football stadium. I'm playing where the fucking Longhorns play.
For tickets and all tour dates, go to dansoder.com. And also, I really got to mention, aside from like the live skanks every week that happens at the stand, right afterwards, if you're in New York and you come to Legion of Skanks, or if you don't come to Legion of Skanks, the 10 o'clock show at the Village Underground, Comedy Cellar, Late Night Uncensored. I'm hosting it every week for now.
ComedyCellar.com.
Get it while the getting's good, because they're letting me book a bunch of my friends on it every week, and it's been a really fun experience. But I want that audience to become our fucking audience. When I get up there, I want them to feel like these people are here for us, because the Cellar just advertises a show. It's insane. They want me to brand it.
Last time I did it, I was like, damn, this is a show from the website. It was like 25% people that knew us.
Yes, that's true. As I'm saying, it's funny.
Which we returned it. It ended up being fun.
No, it's
but
fine.
That's why I was like, when I did it,
I don't want it to be a room full of tourists. I don't care if it's people from other cities. I just want people who can, like, I'm coming to the Comedy Cellar. Like, you want to come to this show. You want to come to the dirty late night show, blah, 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 whatever. Uncensored.
Do it.
But it's a fucking fun lineup, man. We've had the Dad Meat guys. All your favorite people from
Matt and Shane
Bonfire, the Matt and Shane, the Legion of Skanks universe. It's just, it's a blast, man. We're doing it every week. And come check that out again Monday nights. Get your tickets early, ComedyCellar.com. And other than that, I think we're ready to hit the fucking bricks. What do you say?
Yeah, we'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday, everybody. See you tonight, San Francisco. Let's get gay.
Get it. Sam's Hamburgers.
No, I know. I have to work on my tone.
Boom, boom. Cadova. Boom.